right, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My message this morning is,
You're out.
huh?
You're out.
Out. Get in.
What?
No.
It's not working. There it is. Okay. My message this morning is complaining or kindness. And if I asked you which one you prefer, I know you're going to say kindness is correct. Yeah, that's an easy one. But I found this meme that I had several memes today, but kind of led me in this path. But anyway, I found this one, and this was started me, and I had to take pause when I read it, and I'll show you why. Go 24 hours without complaining, not even once. Then watch how your life starts changing. Now, I don't know about you, but I was thinking, could I possibly even go 24 hours without complaining? You know? And since I've been writing this message, I've been catching myself left and right. Oh, that might sound like a complaint. And I know that some people probably would say I probably couldn't do it, but I don't know. I mean, I decided I should try to give it a try, you know? I mean, but I believe it's all perspective, really, truly, of whether it's a complaint or not. I mean, you know, you might say something, or we might say something, and somebody might take it wrong. Ever have that happen to you?
Yes.
Like somebody will sit there and look at you like, you know, what? Come on, like this. Well, you know, I know that there's all different kinds of perspectives, and there's the male and the female perspective, but sometimes I'll say something, and Warren will say to me, not in a mean way, but he'll say, oh, stop complaining, you know? And I think to myself, I'm not really complaining. I am not. No. Sorry, throwing you under the bus. But, you know, I do think it is perspective, because to me, I'm just giving this constructive criticism, or maybe a suggestion on how it should be, or maybe I have a definite plan in my mind that this is, you know, come on, let's do it this way. And he doesn't see it that way. And so when I suggest something, you know, he picks it up as me complaining. But let's explore the concept a little bit. Complaining is the expression of dissatisfaction or annoyance about something. I think the hang up here is the expression, because it depends on how we express it, right? Doesn't it? How we express what we're saying. Like if I say no, that doesn't sound too good, does it? It sounds harsh. But if I say no, you know, no, it kind of sounds nicer, doesn't it? A lot of people won't even say no because they think that somebody's going to take it wrong. I've had that happen. I always say no is an okay answer. We can say no. But for me, if we are an expression of God and we are expressing from divine mind, why aren't we always speaking from kindness and love? Or on the other hand, why aren't we always hearing it as kindness and love? Because if it's our perspective and the other person's really not trying to be complaining, then why don't we hear it that way? Why don't we hear it with kindness and love? Because maybe that's the hang-up. You know, maybe it's not the person saying something, maybe it's the way we're hearing it. Either way, though, we need to look at this and figure out why it ends up like this. To me, I think it's like what Reverend Warren was talking about last week about personalities. You know, we let our personalities get in the way. We make it all about us, and we say, hey, this is the way it has to be. We stomp our foot or whatever to get that. But we need to start seeing it from different perspectives, whatever we're saying, whatever we're doing. And if our consciousness is not balanced through prayer, meditation, and I add gratitude, it is difficult to express from our center of love and kindness. And that is so true. I mean, just practice that for 24 hours. Every time before you start to say anything to anybody, just say a little prayer or give thanks for that person in your life. Or, I mean, it could be at the grocery store and be the checkout person or whatever. You know, it changes everything in how you interact with another person because you're sharing that innate ability that we are gifted with, which is kindness and love. But when we're off kilter, we probably don't even think about the idea that we're not coming from love and kindness. When we're just all about ourselves in our own personality, expressing from our personality, then we are not going to be thinking about love and kindness because we pushed that away. But once we're prayed up and we were thinking about where we want to be and how we want to be, then we're going to be in a different frame of mind. We're going to be expressing more like a spiritual being rather than just a human being. This is another meme I found. Someone else is dreaming of the job you hate, the home you complain about, the smile you forget to wear, and the health you take for granted. Don't let difficult times make you forget your blessings. That's where gratitude comes in. You know, and this is something for us to really think about, because I guarantee you this is true for each and every one of us. There are so many people that would, you know, be ecstatic to have the lives we have. And we forget that, you know, we forget that. Every moment of the day we got to remind ourselves, hey, I got a great life. And especially with it being Memorial Day, and we know that people have given their lives for us to live in this great country and be free to choose and say what we want to choose and say, and just to be free like that. And if we hold that idea for ourselves of knowing that we are blessed, we're opening up a new path for ourselves and a new perspective. And I think it's important. And the other thing we have to think about is the spiritual aspect of this. If we complain about our job or our home or how unhappy we are, and focus on oh gosh, I have this pain in my arm that just will not go away, you know, focusing on the negative aspects that we are holding on to, then guess what? We're never going to get to a place where we're going to be happy, because we're complaining about this stuff. We're going to keep getting that. We're going to keep having more of that. We could change jobs. Oh, I hate my job so much, I'm going to go to work over here. If you hate the job you have now, guess what? The new job's going to be the same way. You have to love and respect what you have in this moment, or else you're not going to get something better. That's just the law of the universe. I mean, so we have to appreciate and feel gratitude for each and everything. And our bodies, who cares if you get a little pain, you know? The boys were at the Boost trampoline park, and Warren, have you seen those ramps that the kids run up? Well, or they do it on TV and stuff for different things. But anyway, they were trying to get up that ramp, and Warren helped push them with their feet to get up there. But they were pulling themselves up like that. So this morning, JW said, my neck, and well, JW was doing flips too on the trampolines, but he goes, my neck's really sore. And I said, I was rubbing his neck a little bit, and I could feel a little knot. And I said, I know what that's from, because it was that side that he had to get his arm up there to really pull himself up. I said, you strained it pulling yourself up, you know. And he said, what? And I said, yeah, that's all it is. It'll go away. And I said, here, let's just do this little ping thing here. And I was like, getting the energy and popping it out like that, you know. And he goes, oh yeah, that's much better. And then he hasn't said one more thing about it. But see, that's all we have to do. If we have a ping, we just have to say, oh, I've got this, but I'm going to say it's health. In that moment, it's health. We're not going to say healing. We're going to say it's health and claim it as that, so we can move forward and not focus on that negative thing. If that doesn't work for you, start blessing the other parts of your body that aren't hurting. Because, you know, we could be laying around saying everything hurts if we want to be. So we have to change how we think about it. So when you love what you have everything you need. Do you know that? And it's important for us to look at that, because the minute we start loving our life and loving our bodies and loving who we have and what we have in the refrigerator, guess what? You do find out that you have everything you need. You don't have to sit there and long for something, because whatever else the next thing is that you kind of need will show up for you, won't it? And that's what's huge. It's that idea that if we have everything and we have gratitude for everything, it's wonderful. Now, wouldn't you want your life to be joy-filled? Wouldn't you want to always just be living life and not being focused on all those little negative things? That's why we have to focus and change our energy and think about what we are saying and what we need to say. It changes the perspective. It gives us this creative energy that allows the flow of God to come in and through us and make us, you know, better for who we are. And is it going to be exactly like the next person? No. And will it be like winning the lottery? Maybe. I don't know. To me, if I start feeling gratitude for stuff I have and who I am and what my body is right now, I do feel like I've won the lottery, because I don't feel any of that negative energy. You got me? Okay, good. How do we activate the energy and bring our perspective into balance? That's where kindness comes in. That's why we have to think about being kind and loving. Because the minute we do that, we're activating that kind of energy. Don't you want that kind of energy in your life? We all say, yes, we do. So we have to demonstrate kindness in our life. And we have to, another thing to do, like homework. We begin by, and this is the steps we take to do this. We begin by mastering our thoughts. What is the ditty? Thoughts held in mind, produce after their kind. So we change our thoughts. We master our thoughts. We don't let our thoughts go to negative. If we do have a ping in our body, we say, oh, you're talking to me, but you know what? I know I've got a great body. I know my health is more important than that little ping, and I'm not going to focus on the ping. It can happen with anything. You know, you look at your checkbook. Maybe you're down on your checkbook, but you know what? If you claim prosperity and abundance, that doesn't matter what is written in the checkbook, does it? Then we move on to deny any power we give to negative thoughts. The minute we have a negative thought or we start feeling like we're complaining about something, we take away the power. Oh, you don't have any power in my life. I'm not going to focus on that. I am going to affirm the opposite of that because I know that's the truth of who I am, the truth of my beingness. And then we begin to love because guess what? When you've cleared out that pathway, love instantly comes rushing through. And that's when we can express kindness. When you're feeling love for other people, what are you naturally doing? You're sharing kindness. You're sharing. You'll say thank you more often. You'll give of yourself without thinking about anything else. And that's how we practice kindness. In the text, Teach Us to Pray, Fillmore wrote this: be generous in thought and act. When you are tempted to lose your temper, say, I have a good temper. Affirm your truthfulness under all circumstances. So when we are feeling negative about something else, all we have to do is change it. You know, instead of getting upset and complaining, I have a good temper. I am calm. I am peaceful. I am not a whiner or complainer. Changes everything. It can change everything because we're taking control of those thoughts. And then, you know, the other thing we can do is when we're around people, other people that maybe are negative or pulling us down, and we start feeling their heavy energy or whatever, we can claim for them in that moment, hey, God's got this. And we don't even have to say it out loud, but we could. And we can say, God's got this. So we don't have to worry or stress and listen to the negativity. Sometimes, though, listening could be just keeping your mouth shut and letting them vent, and then say, you know, God's got this. God's got this, and don't let that come into your world. You don't have to carry the baggage home with you. You can just leave it sit there with them, and pretty soon they'll drop it because it'll get too heavy. And that's what we have to look at, is the idea that it's not about us. It's about whatever is happening. We don't have to claim it for ourselves. And, you know, when somebody is struggling or they are in that place, the best thing we can do is what I say all the time to people: send love. And when we send love, we're beholding the Christ in them. We're seeing them as God would see them. And that little bit of energy that we're sending their way activates within them that love and kindness that they naturally have. We know they have it. Every one of us could look at each other and say, yeah, you got it. You got this. You got love and kindness within you, so you get to share it with each other. Maria is doing that right now. So here's another quote I found. Aw, kindness. What a simple way to tell another struggling soul that there is love to be found in this world. Isn't that true? And we've all experienced it. Like I said before, going into the store and your checkout person's all stressed or whatever. And the minute you start talking nice, kind words to them, they forget about it. It happens to me all the time down here at Dollar Tree. Those girls that work in there sometimes are like, yeah, I'm so tired, you know, and I just go, oh, well, I'll pray for your health, and I see you as a vibrant light. You always say hi to people when I come in, and, you know, I just switch it. And then pretty soon you just see them they start out like this and perking up, you know, like, oh, okay. That's sharing the love and kindness, which is so much better for everybody instead of the complaining, you know. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have to do that. That's our goal in life. Okay, kindness is a type of behavior. I think this is Wikipedia's definition of kindness. Kindness is a type of behavior marked by acts of generosity, consideration, rendering assistance, or concern for others without expecting praise or reward in return. Now I'm breaking this down a little bit because I think it's also about finding the balance. We don't need to have praise and reward, but we also have to have balance in each one of those areas. Because I have seen it time and time again. People think, oh, I'm going to be kind. I'm going to do this for somebody. I'm going to give them money when I don't even have money. Whatever. We're not going to go there. So we're going to start with generosity. It's not giving it all away or helping others out when you can't. Don't think that's generosity. You know what the best generous thing you can do for somebody? Anybody want to guess?
Pray.
Pray. Yes, pray. Send love. Pray. Generosity is giving from our heart, freely giving with no negative impact on ourselves. That's important to remember because I've seen generous people give to the point where they have nothing or they've given it all away and then they wonder how they got there. And that's not what it's all about at all. We have to know that generosity is different than that. The next one is consideration. Is an important moment of pause for us when we are moving forward. And I say pause because like consideration needs to be like if you're thinking about doing something, take a pause first. Now who is this going to benefit and how is it going to help and where is it going to lead me? All those things need to be in that pause and take a breath instead of just jumping into a situation and going, oh, here, you know, I mean, like a homeless person on the street, you know, I send prayers and love to them, but you stopping and getting out of the car and start wanting to help them or give them a ride or whatever could end up putting your own life in danger or not really helping the situation. So we all have to look at and consider the impact, the overall impact on the whole situation. If we take into consideration that we want the highest good for all, it might not be exactly what we had in mind, but it'll bring forth the best results and happiness. If we know this, this is another law of the universe of God. If we know that the highest good for all is going to come forth, if we hold that in our vision, whatever it is, we might start defining, oh, this is the way it's supposed to be, and this is what you need to do, and this is how you need to do it. If we start defining that, then we're cutting off the good. I'll tell you that much right now. But if we say, this is a suggestion on how to do this, but I know no matter what you do, no matter how you do it, the highest good will come forth. And if you hold that vision for yourself and others, guess what? The highest good is going to come forth. It might not be that picture perfect that you're looking at, that Polaroid picture in your mind that you have. No, it will be something greater because you've allowed the universe, you've allowed God to be in the mix of it all, making it manifest in your life. And it's a huge thing. And the best results will be love, joy, kindness. Rendering assistance is the next one. Again, it is not putting our lives and ourselves in harm's way. But sometimes it might just be taking a moment to listen to another without judgment or concern. You know, that's one of the biggest things you can do, is just to listen to someone without trying to fix it or make it so. This is listening while beholding the Christ in them and seeing them as you, as a child of God. No matter what is going on in their life, you're just holding that idea. They are a child of God. I am a child of God. We're all in this together. And that's the most beautiful thing you can do in any situation. Next is concern for others. And it begins with positive prayer. We know this. It begins with a breath and knowing God's got this. We go back to that idea again. God's got this. You know? That is concern for others. Concern for others is not throwing yourself under the bus. Concern is opening our hearts and seeing only good. Can you do that? I hope. Concern is praying for health, perfect employment, a perfect home. That's what we do here during prayer time. That's why we have such success. Say that fast 10 times. in our prayers here, because we do hold that for people. We do see them as God sees them, and that's important. Concern is not fixing it. Everybody got that one? Put it in your head. We're not going to twist concern into making it, something that we have to solve. Concern is opening up space for someone to do what is theirs to do. And that's a beautiful thing that you can do for somebody else. Are you okay, Bill?
Yeah.
Warren, go help him.
I'm fine.
He's
Just a little lightheaded.
okay.
Just a little lightheaded.
And we have to remember on this definition that the caveat is doing all this without expecting praise or reward in return, and that is truly kindness. Whatever we're doing, we shouldn't sit there and expect somebody to give us accolades or, even to think that they have to come back and say thank you, because a lot of times people just get busy and they don't even think about it. But we can get our little feelings hurt, can't we?
Yeah.
I did this for them and they didn't even say thank you. They didn't send me a thank you card. They didn't do anything. They didn't even recognize the fact that I had worked my tail off. Yeah, we can go there, can't we? And that is not kindness. All you did was scratch out whatever it was you did. So, and we don't want to do that. We want to be able to appreciate each other and love each other and know that each other. So this takes us back to the journey of where I started with this meme that says, go 24 hours without complaining, not even once, then watch how your life starts changing. I don't know. Can we do that? Do we think we could do it for 24 hours?
Yep.
We could start off maybe 2-hour segments. We can always reboot.
Yeah.
Oh, a half hour?
I tape my mouth shut.
Take them out of soup. We have to start with your thoughts, remember?
Right.
And it's definitely important to watch our words and to know the perspective where we're coming from first off, and then kind of look at the other person's perspective maybe. But if our perspective is back to that, like fixing it or having control or any of those things, then it's not going to work, is it? And we can find ourselves easily talking differently to children than we can, say, our best friend or our partner or our parents even, our grandparents. We talk differently to each person. But if we could think about always being from that loving and kind position, then guess what? It starts changing and the energy starts building more for the highest good, because we are no longer picking and choosing how we talk to people, right? Yeah. Sometimes we might get sassy with our spouse or our partner or whoever, because guess why? Because we think we can, and that's not always kind and loving. So how do we carry through with all this through all conversations? Well, we can go back to, like I said, practicing those steps. Mastering our thoughts, denying all negative thoughts, then we love, which allows us to practice kindness. This is one you should take a picture of with your phone, because that should be your little plan to keep you on track to try to go 24 hours without complaining. Can you do it?
Yes.
Yeah, you want to try? I think it'd be fun for all of us to try, because I know it's going to switch the energy of how we live and how we are.
Just don't
And really,
watch the news.
huh?
Just don't watch the news.
Absolutely. Don't watch the news. And don't get into politics with anybody. And let's see, what else can we do? No, don't get around any ex. No, I'm just kidding. But master your thoughts. Deny any negative thoughts. Love, and then practice that kindness. That's what's going to get us there. And these are easy steps we can follow. And like I said, sometimes we might have to reboot and start, after 30 minutes or a couple hours, we might have to start over again. I mean, it's been a little challenging for me these last couple weeks to keep focusing on not complaining and try to say things differently that might be interpreted as a complaint. But then, if we keep practicing every 24 hours, then we're going to keep practicing for another 24 hours and continue until we have chosen to express kindness over complaining. Thank you for being here today. God bless you.